Hi everyone, my name is Judy Littlejohn and I'm your instructor for History 101, World Civilizations 1, fully online class at Genesee Community College, fall 2020. So I wanted to take a few minutes to introduce myself to you and to let you know what this class is all about, because I know that there are people in the course who ordinarily would not have registered for an online class, but because of COVID-19 and all the upheaval that's been going on, it might be safer to register for an online class than to have to move to the college and move back home and disrupt everything. So I work full-time at the college, not as an instructor, but as the instructional designer. And that means that I work on online courses all the time, and I help other instructors organize their course to make sure that their students are meeting their learning outcomes. And it's been a real busy time for me since March when all this happened and everybody suddenly had to go remote, because just like some students don't really want to take online classes, there are faculty who don't teach online. So it's been a lot of work to try to get everybody up into using Blackboard and using Zoom and other technology to try to make sure that we can reach our students wherever they are. But so I work there full time. However, because of the way things are set up, I'm home Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and only on campus Tuesday and Thursday. And that said, my office is too small for social distancing. So if you want to meet, and we can certainly meet if you have questions, we'll meet via Zoom, or we can call each other on the phone or via email, whatever works out for you. So I'd like to give you a little bit of a tour of the course, explain what it's all about, and then hopefully you'll be more comfortable with the class and you'll be ready to get started. So I'm going to share my screen, and here we go. So this is called our landing page, or we also call it the Start Here page. It's the first page you see when you log in. Also, I'm in edit mode as the instructor, so I'm going to see more things than you see, and don't worry about it. We'll talk about that when we get to it. So when you land here, whether you're in History 101 6.6 or 6.7, I have two of the same course. This just shows you that you're in the right place, who I am, that's me, and where my office is. And I see my Zoom number is missing from here. I'll put it in there. Sorry about that. Just a little bit of information from me, or about me. I went to GCC myself as a student, and then I went to Brockport. And then I got a master's at Brockport also, and then I went on to the University of Stout. It's Wisconsin Stout. And so down here, there's some information. If you don't know much about Blackboard, the Blackboard is our LMS, that means Learning Management System. And if you don't know much about it, you're going to be able to learn about it because all the students are put in a remote learning success course or something. I forgot the exact name, but you'll see it listed in your list of courses in my GCC. So it just says we use modules. There's a module of the week. I put them in reverse order. You'll see that in a second. And it's just so that the week that we're on is always on top. It makes it easy for you. And just get started with the syllabus. A little bit more information there about history and expectations. You can read these. These seem a little harsh or maybe even a little sarcastic, and I certainly don't intend them that way. But it does say, like, comments like this, I expect you to be online at least 3 times a week. I put that in there because I've had students say in discussion, like, wow, it's like she expects us to be online more than once a week. And yeah, I do. If we're going to have discussions and talk to each other back and forth and respond to each other's discussion posts, you got to log in more than once a week. So 3 times is fair. I'm in every day, so I don't expect you to log in every day. Don't worry about that. But you can definitely log in more than once a week and check to see if people are responding to your posts and answer questions that your peers may be asking you. So that said, where you'll find the weekly modules is here under course content. But typically, after looking through the Start Here page, we'd look through the syllabus and course information page. So the syllabus is here all the time. It's stationary. You can download it. If you're on campus near a printer, go ahead and print it. I think it's like 10, 11 pages, so don't print it at home. Don't waste all your ink. But if you do get to a campus or campus center, go ahead and print it. The book is here. This is the ISBN. You can order the book from the bookstore. You can use financial aid through the bookstore. You can also order it online with this code here. You don't need the physical book if you're comfortable reading ebooks. Each version of the book comes with an access code, and you must have the code. You gotta have the code. If you go in, my understanding is if you go to Norton's website and buy just the code, you automatically get access to the ebook. And the code we're looking for is for inquisitive. Then you'll see the course schedule is here. I've got everything spelled out week by week. And you'll see it's pretty much, we kind of get in a pattern. You read a chapter, you do your inquisitive, you do some sort of a CLO assignment. Those are your course learning outcomes. That's what we focus on. And then we have a metacognitive cafe discussion. And that's a low stakes discussion where we just talk about how we read, how we learn, and things like that. So you'll see that happens again and again until we hit week 12. That's when we do chapter 11. We've got some mini research in place of a CLO assignment, and we'll see those in a few minutes. But 11's our final chapter. So after that, things kind of taper off a little bit because week 13 is Thanksgiving, and I really try to keep Thanksgiving light because it's tough to pile studying on top of traveling, visiting family, and things like that. And so after Thanksgiving, we've got another little research, another discussion, and then we're good to go. So here's our grading policy. This spells out what the expectations are. We got 1 syllabus quiz, 1 practice quiz, 11 chapter quizzes, 6 discussions, which are 25 points each, 3 timelines, which are 25 points each, and those metacognitive cafe, those low stakes guys, I told you they're only 5 points, and then mini research is 25 points. So just by looking at this, you can see that not everything is worth the same. So if you find yourself in a time crunch, you need to put your time where the biggest return is, right? You really need to do those chapter quizzes to give you the foundational knowledge to do your CLO assignment. So those should be your focus. And then after that, try to get everything else done if you are striving for an A. But if you really have to budget your time, focus on the points. All right, so here's a breakdown. We do this plus minus grading. So to earn an A, you need 512 points. My late policy, I don't penalize you for being late. I want you to do the work. If something comes up, if you have job problems, if you've got other classes, if you have family issues, it's fine. I get it. We're all living in crazy times. We're all trying to balance way too many things. And if you need a few more days for an assignment, that's fine. Please just follow through and do the assignments. Turn them in late. It's fine. I will grade it. I don't take points off for lateness. You can be late and still earn an A. So do not give up. All right, let's work together and help you find ways to finish the course. So again, we've got inquisitive quizzes. They're all on Norton's website. You're going to see there's a link in each week for the quiz. Every link is different. I'm saying this because often, especially if you use the ebook, you might be out on their site reading the book, and then you click right along and go and take the quiz. And we can't do that because if you do that, it won't go back into Blackboard. We need your quiz grades to go from Norton back here into our learning management system to get into the Blackboard gradebook. And to do that, you have to use the link that's in the module. It sounds irritating, but it is what it is. So minimum tech requirements, we need to be able to type up some papers. So if you don't have Office, shoot me a note because you can get it for free from the college's website. If you prefer to not have Office and you want to use something like Google Docs, that's fine too, but I just ask that you please save it as a doc or docx file so I can open it. High-speed internet is pretty much a requirement, and you have to be able to like copy and paste, manage your files, insert footnotes or endnotes, and track your citations. Don't be intimidated by footnotes or endnotes. We're going to talk about how to do those things, and the main point of it, the purpose, is to cite your sources, tracking your citations. So if your footnotes just aren't going to work no matter what you're doing, you're struggling, don't let the technology be the problem. Just make a note and say, hey, I tried to get this footnote in, but this information came from this source. And we can work with that. Netiquette is here. Please read through that. We just don't attack each other online. We respect each other's opinions. And we're mindful that everybody has a different background that they come from, and we want to respect everybody's differences. Just some copyright information here. The Norton materials belong to Norton. And I use a lot of crash course videos. I hope you like those. That's John Green, Hank Green, the Blog Brothers, and a bunch of videos that they made. Inclusive excellence. Again, we respect everybody's point of view, as long as it's not harmful to others. And we try to appreciate everybody's diverse background. So plagiarism means don't cheat. Accessibility. This course is 100% accessible, or it ought to be. If you find something that you can't access, if the captions are confusing, or if a screen reader is not reading something for you, please don't hesitate to let me know. And no-show compliance is a federal standard that we have to follow, where you have to take some sort of an action in a course before the census date, which I think is in week 3 or 4. You have to do something that is gradable, or else you get thrown out of the course administratively, and it's out of my hands if that happens. So that's our course information. I also just threw a link here a few minutes ago just to the schedule, because so you don't have to always scroll through that big long thing to get to the schedule to see what's going on. So hopefully that's helpful. Now, again, I told you I'm in edit mode. You're not, so I have links here that you don't see. And so there's just a couple extra credit things later on in the semester that pop up, and you'll see those when the time's right. CLO assignments, you can take a look at this on your own, but basically CLOs are our course learning objectives. I think we have 9 in this class, and this explains what they mean. What is the purpose of the CLOs? Please take a look at that, and there's some links to help explain them further. We meet SUNY requirements, we meet GCC, institutional requirements, and things like that. And so this little chart here just kind of breaks down where we're meeting all the learning outcomes. So you can see at a glance that all 9 of them are covered. And when you walk away from this course, you should have this basic understanding of ancient world history. It's fun, huh? So down here, weekly modules, let's just hop into a module. You can see that this is in backwards order, like I said. For example, you can see week 15 is at the top. It says item is hidden from students. It will be available after December 4th at 11:59 p.m. And that week is Saturday, December 5th to Friday, December 11th. So these are all set up. This is called adaptive release by date. So every Friday night, 11:59 p.m., that's your due date. And then right at midnight, the next week opens. So whatever week is on top is the current week. And if you miss anything, if you need to catch things up from prior weeks, you'll just scroll down to find that week. So I'm going to drag it down here, though. Down at the very bottom, there's a link to the Norton ebook. You can buy it from that site right there if you don't have to use financial aid. But this is where we are, week 1, introduction. So I'm going to start up here. This kind of explains it to you. It says read the syllabus, take the syllabus quiz, introduce yourself in the discussion, and do the inquisitive practice test, and then look at the metacognitive cafe discussion. This format is the same in every week. We're always going to say about week whatever, and then whatever you need. I put everything in order in the module that it's listed in the about. So as the student, in your view, you're going to see the table of contents, and for you, this is hyperlinked. So you can just click on the thing you want to do. Always read the about first, and then kind of go through it in order to get your foundational knowledge so you can be successful in the CLO assignment. That's the best way to do it. So when you first open a week, go through it in order, but then throughout the week when you want to go back and forth and do assignments or take the quiz or what have you, then you can just click right onto the thing you want to do and go to it. So this here is what these inquisitive links look like. And in other weeks, you're going to see this symbol. Oh, let me just show you one. If we hop over to a different weekly module, let's just pick, how about week 6? So this is what a typical week looks like. You're going to say, okay, so week 6, chapter 5, you're going to read chapter 5, look at the PowerPoint, watch the videos, take the quiz, do a CLO assignment, when this one's a timeline of city-states, and then do the Metacognitive Cafe quiz. And I try to guesstimate how long all these activities will take you. So if you're trying to budget your time throughout the week, you can figure out where you can fit something in. I think some students, so I always say read chapter 5, 90 minutes. I don't know if it takes you 90 minutes to read a chapter. It might take you an hour, it might take you 2 hours. But you'll get used to how I guess the time, and you'll know if I'm always guessing low for you, then you need to mentally add those minutes, or, and you can still gauge your time that way. The videos, I try to kind of add them up in my head to what the time is. So if I say approximately 30 minutes, it's probably pretty close to that. So the first thing you'll always see in the chapter weeks is the PowerPoint. So you can just grab the PowerPoint. You can download it. You can write on it. You can just scroll through it. You can do whatever you want. Now these are author videos. It's just kind of nice to hear what the author was trying to emphasize in the chapter. These guys are really brief. They're pretty much all less than 2 minutes.
Axial age is a term that was coined by a German philosopher.
Yeah, so that's Elizabeth Pollard. And I think, so that one's 57 seconds. So these are really brief. And so she just tells you, like, what does this term mean? What is the point of this? What is the focus here? So they're helpful, and they're all well captioned. And this chapter has 3 of them. Sometimes you'll see 2, sometimes there's 4. They're all produced by Norton. Now you'll see this thing, it says chapter quiz, inquisitive, and it looks like, so this is the icon here, but it's a broken image. And we've been having a lot of trouble in Blackboard. I'm a Blackboard administrator, so I try to figure some of this stuff out when I have time, but not all of our images that we're putting into Blackboard are staying where they belong, especially when we roll a course from semester to semester. So for some reason, this image is gone. Hopefully we'll get it to pop back up. But it just explains here that you have to click the link below to get to this chapter's quiz. And again, the chapter quiz links are in black text. Everything else in the course is purple. Technical reason for that is that I cannot change the color of a hyperlink when it's embedded like that. So, but let me just show you, this is behind the scenes technical stuff, but when we look at the quiz link, it's showing you that this links out to Norton, and that it's going to be worth 10 points, and that it has a due date. And this linkage, it's called an LTI, it's Learning Tool Interoperability, way more technical stuff than you need to know, but this is what is going to get your score from Norton and bring it back into Blackboard. And this is why you have to click these links to take the quiz in order for your score to count. So please pay attention to those. So after you take your quiz, scrolling down quickly, we're going to do the CLO, the course learning outcome. So on here, this is what these look like. So we're going to do the city-states timeline assignment. It always says what the learning outcome is. Describe how urbanism shaped the human experience. So that's what's driving this assignment. And then we're going to break it down into what are the requirements here? What do you have to do? So we have to find city-states, right? So put a title on the thing, put your name on it. This is the time frame you're looking for. And for each city-state, you're gonna put their name, the territories, when was it occupied, where was it, how many people lived there, and what all was happening there. So what was the most notable feature of that city-state? And then how did living in the city-state affect the people's lives? So that, you know, directly links back to that learning outcome, that how did urbanism shape the human experience? And some kind of an image from the source that you're finding the information out about the city-state. So, and then here it says you need 8. I wonder if maybe we should switch these, because trying to explain this, it feels like maybe you want to know that number first. But so we want to do 8 city-states, 2 from the Middle East, 2 from East Asia, 2 from the Indian subcontinent, and 2 Mediterranean. So this is just an example of what one of the timeline assignments looks like. The one prior to this is civilizations. So these give you like a global awareness of how these sorts of communities were developing and expanding in thousands and thousands of miles apart from each other at relatively the same time. So it's really interesting. And if you do these in a PowerPoint, it says early on with the first example that you can do each assignment in the same PowerPoint, so that at the end of the course you have one big long PowerPoint with all of this information in it. And it's kind of like a takeaway for you to help you remember all this stuff. So you'll make this thing. There's different ways to do it. It doesn't have to be a PowerPoint. You can make it on a Word doc. You can do a Google slide. You can use Excel, whatever works for you. There's also a couple of online tools you're welcome to explore if that's your thing. If it's not your thing, don't worry about it. It's fine. But I just like to give people the chance. Some people are more artistic or more technological than others and might want to like jump on an opportunity to really show that off, and that's fine. But if you just want to say, keep it sweet and simple and write out your words and stick that one picture and move on, absolutely fine. So when you finish that thing, you'll upload it here. All of these assignments that are on documents or that are not written in the discussion board, pretty much the format is to click on the title of the thing, and then you browse your computer to locate it, and you upload it there. So it's pretty straightforward once you get in there. And I do have it set up for you to be able to upload it more than once. If you think you did it wrong, or if you upload the wrong document, it's going to be okay. You can give it another shot. And once you're done with that CLO assignment, you do your metacognitive cafe. This just explains what metacognition is. So it's literally thinking about thinking, and it's becoming aware of how you learn and what learning strategies work and what ones don't. And some of these are tough because some notions we may have had from grammar school may not really be in your best interest. So some things from the past we have to let go of and try different types of learning going forward. And so this example here, in week 6, we're going to talk about how sleep and study habits work together. So that's kind of interesting. It's a fun one. So that is what a week looks like. And also just some questions that we get a lot. So yes, you have to have the book. Yes, you have to have the code. There are no exams. There's no final. There's no midterm. I'm not going to pull any punches at the end and say, aha, don't forget you have this thing. It's just not going to happen. Everything is in the schedule. So between the schedule and that grading policy, like that's all the things. Other than these extra credit things that pop out in November, those are called History Now. So that's an extra credit opportunity for you where you'll find a current event maybe you're not an event. So a recently published article about something that happened in this time frame that we're studying, which is prehistory up to 1500 CE. So, for example, just the other day, a magazine published an article about people who digitized what the Roman emperors would have looked like as humans. So, and it's really interesting. In fact, I'll find that. I'll stick it in here so you can see it. And so that would be an excellent example of a History Now extra credit. So it's something that's current, happening now, but it's directly related to what was going on in one of these time frames that we're studying here. The other extra credit will be to actually write quiz questions. So that's later on too. You'll be able to write, I think I said 3 questions per chapter or something like that, just to earn extra credit. And that would be, I toy with the idea of moving away from Norton and just trying to come up with independent quizzes or putting quizzes together to try to make some sort of a midterm or final. I never really get that far, but but it's, for you, it's a good exercise to think about what you're reading in a chapter and what type of a question would adequately demonstrate someone's learning of that material. So we'll do that later on. We don't have to do everything right out of the gate. So hopefully this helps you. If you don't understand everything, let me know. We can Zoom, as I said, we can talk on the phone. I'm always here, so don't hesitate. And oh, you can use the messages too, down here in the communication system, or communication section. So you can send me a message, you just click on messages, you say create message, and then you click on the word to, then you choose who you want the message to go to. And I'm here, mine says instructor next to it. And you can, if you want to message everybody, I wouldn't, but so you select me, you click the arrow to get it over into recipients, and then you write your message down here. A little bit clunky system, but once you get to it a couple of times, you'll get the hang of it. And also one last thing, there's an announcement section. Currently there are no announcements. I'll be sending some out soon. I send them out every Sunday and Thursday, and that's to help keep you in the pattern of the course. Sunday, I welcome you to this new week. Thursday, I remind you that Friday is the deadline. So you'll start to see those. And then a couple weeks into the class, I changed the landing page so that the announcement, the current announcement, is going to always be the thing you see first when you log into the course. And then from there, you'll click on your weekly modules. All right, let's do this. So you're not alone. We're all here together. I'm here with you. I'm here to help you. And please don't hesitate to let me know if you're having trouble. And also you can reach out to each other in the student lounge discussion if you have general questions about the course. All right. See you soon.